to be here for the evaluation competition last month, you'll remember that Annette left us with a cliffhanger for her icebreaker speech. She was swashbuckling her way to dreams unknown in a hot air balloon shooting into the sky. Today, she's back for her second speech, and although she has her feet firmly planted back on solid ground, she's here to give you a deeper look into her past and her future as a public speaker. The objectives of this minute speech are to organize the speech so as to make the message easy to understand, easy to remember, and more enjoyable. This speech, entitled Chrysalis, will be 5 to 7 minutes. Let's welcome Annette.
So thank you, Madam Toastmaster, and thank you, fellow Toastmasters. And I mean that sincerely. Thank you very much for all of... I can't believe I'm getting emotional. Last time I gave my icebreaker speech here, it meant a lot to me. You guys were so warm and generous and welcoming, and the evaluations were phenomenal. The love notes were even more phenomenal, and I really appreciate it. And I wanted to let you know today that I listened to what you had to say. I listened to your suggestions and heard loud and clear, time after time, with all of these great comments from you, that I was a tease. I was teasing you with me and my life, and not really coming out and sharing what I have with you guys. So that's my goal. So my speech today is about me. And I want to take the time in this organizational speech to first tell you a little bit about my background as a public speaker, something I should have done last week and didn't last month. And secondly, what I plan to do in my future as a public speaker. And finally, 3 goals that I have through Toastmasters to make that journey and that transformation into a successful one with your help. So, to begin, I started my public speaking career as a professor at the medical school. So I would come in, walk up to the podium, hush comes out over the crowd. Not sure it was anticipation or of me or boredom, but okay. The hush came, I took it for what I wanted it to mean. The lights went down, and my heart started to race. I was excited because I knew what was coming. Center stage, 10 feet high, glorious Technicolor, is my data, my slides. I get to talk about my work to a captive audience, and they don't have a choice. They have to listen. I loved it. It was great. It was safe, because no one in the world knew my data better than me. I could share that. I didn't have to worry about the question I couldn't answer, or the judgment that I wasn't the best person up here to talk about this because I did it. This was my work. So that was fun. After a while, I left the university. I wanted to start a family and start a company. So my change in career at that point was from doing benchtop research and presenting it to medical students. It changed to doing, I still did some benchtop research. I was developing a medical device. And so my job now, the fun part of doing the medical device was, playing on the bench, but I still got to present because I needed money to play. So I went off, I did hundreds of presentations to investors. So I walked in the room, not quite so crowded, not quite so hushed, but I still got to put up my slides. I still got to talk about my data, and it was still a lot of fun. So it was great. Took a while, but I got funded, grew my company, developed the medical device, sold it, and then had to decide what next. What's my next career going to be? I love the medical device, so I started with another medical device company. But in the meantime, I spent my time sharing what I learned, mentoring other startup companies to figure out how they could get funding. And that was great. Even smaller audience, but I still got to present. After a while, as I was growing and spending more time executing on the business plan for my medical device company, I realized this really isn't any fun anymore. What I really want to do is spend all of my time mentoring and helping and teaching new entrepreneurs and helping them figure out what they need to do to create an investable situation for their company. So, career 3. Here I am. Lots of experience presenting. I talk to people about all sorts of different things. I get a chance to start this new career as a public speaker at BYU. They invite me to come down there and speak to entrepreneurs about my experience. Great. No problem. I get up to the podium, the hush, I step onto the stage, and I freeze. I suddenly realize I don't have any slides. It's about me. And it was a completely different experience. I realized that it doesn't matter how many experiments, how many presentations, how many things that I've done in the past, I have never spoken to anyone about me. So that's what I'm asking from you today. I'm asking you as Toastmasters to help me meet my 3 goals in this new career as a public speaker. It's not enough for me to just talk anymore about what I've done. I want to be able to inspire people. I want to be able to help people do and become their best. So my first goal is to be vulnerable. I want to be vulnerable with my audience. And it's not enough to just talk about what I've done. I can't hide behind my slides. I can't hide behind the podium anymore. It's time for me to connect and be authentic with an audience. I want to be real, number 2. It's more important for me at this point, for me, to have a speech that is real and not polished, over polished and not real. So that's what I'm going to do here in this audience, and I beg your indulgence. Number 3, I want to take risks. To get out of my comfort zone and start to share things about me, whether it is something that is very private, something that was very meaningful, that I hope will have an impact on you, or something that's a little goofy, like my movie. Something to connect and be real with you. So as my Toastmasters colleagues, I would appreciate it if you would hold me to these in this forum. Be indulgent with me as I try things out, try new things, and try to get out of my comfort zone. And I promise you that if you do that, then I will reward you with the best 7 minutes I can give you. Thank you.